How many hours have you wasted this week and convinced yourself it didn't matter? How many dreams have you buried beneath the phrase, "I'll do it tomorrow"? If your future could speak to you right now, would it say, "Thank you for being careful"? Or would it say, "You let me die because you were afraid to move"? Time is the only resource that cannot be earned back. You can rebuild a career. You can restore your health. You can recover lost money. But once time is gone, it is gone forever. Most people don't lose their potential because they lacked intelligence. They lost it because they never respected the clock, because they believed they had more time than they actually did. The most expensive thing you're wasting right now is not your money, it's your time. Every minute you spend scrolling, doubting, hesitating is a minute your competition is using to get sharper, stronger, and more disciplined while you wait for the perfect moment. Someone else is building without apology. You've been tricked into thinking that success requires permission, that you have to wait until you feel confident that the right time will knock on your door. But greatness doesn't wait, and time doesn't care about your feelings. It moves forward with or without you. If your life ended tonight, would you be proud of how you spent your last day? Could you say, "Yes, I showed up, I gave my dream everything I had"? Or would you beg for one more day, one more hour, just to do what you always said you would? You see, procrastination is not just laziness. It's silent fear, and that fear convinces you to waste your most valuable asset. The only thing you can't replace, your time. So I ask you again, how much longer will you wait? How much longer will you keep delaying the life you say you want? Because the clock is not your friend. It is your final warning, and every second you waste is another nail in the coffin of the man you were born to become. You think wasting time is harmless, that if you lose a few minutes here, a few hours there, it doesn't really matter. But understand this, a man wastes his life not in one massive decision, but in 1,000 small delays. Oh, one, I'll do it later. One, just 5 more minutes. Some silent compromise at a time. And that's how destinies are destroyed. Quietly, slowly, without a single alarm going off. Time is either your most loyal servant or your most brutal master. And make no mistake, it remembers everything you gave to fear, everything you handed to distraction, everything you surrendered to comfort. Time keeps the score. There's an old parable of a man who bought a bag of precious seeds. He was told that if he planted them today and watered them daily, they would grow into trees that would feed his children for generations. But the man hesitated. He didn't feel ready. He wanted better soil. He waited for the weather to be perfect. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and by the time he finally planted the seeds, the earth was no longer fertile, and the rain no longer came. That man's children went hungry, not because he didn't have the right seeds, but because he refused to act when the opportunity was alive. And you've been handed seeds to ideas, visions, talents, chances. But if you do not move, if you do not act, if you do not water the very gift you've been given with discipline and urgency, you will watch your future starve in front of you. Understand this, time wasting is not a minor flaw, it is spiritual death. Every second you give to meaningless distractions is a second you steal from your calling. Every time you let fear talk you out of action, you are not just delaying success, you are betraying the very reason you were born. You are not losing time. Time is losing you. Every moment you hesitate, the life you were meant to live is slipping further out of reach. And one day you'll look in the mirror and not recognize the man staring back, because he will be a ghost, a shadow of what could have been if only you had moved when it mattered. So ask yourself now, do you want to be remembered as the man who waited or the one who rose? Procrastination does not knock loudly, it whispers. It tells you there's still time. It comforts you with the illusion of tomorrow until there are no tomorrows left. I once said, procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done the day before yesterday. And what makes it dangerous, it feels harmless, even justified. But behind its soft voice is a savage cost, one that you often don't see until it's too late. There are two kinds of men in this world on moves. When the door opens, the other waits for a second invitation and watches the door close forever. The man of action understands that the first step doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be taken. He doesn't wait for all the answers. He moves with what he has and builds. As he goes, he knows momentum, creates clarity. He trusts that progress is born from movement, not meditation. The man of delay, on the other hand, is always preparing, always planning, always promising himself he'll begin soon. He dreams more than he works. He talks more than he builds. And every day he hesitates, the gap between him and his goal widens, until one day he can no longer see it. History does not remember the man who waited. It remembers the man who moved. Consider Alexander Graham Bell. When he conceived the idea of the telephone, he didn't have years to perfect it. He acted with urgency. He filed the patent. He spoke the first words. He failed fast, learned faster, and refused to delay. The same day, Bell submitted his telephone patent. Another man, Elisha Gray, submitted a similar invention, but Bell beat him by just hours. That one decision to move faster made Bell the name we remember and Gray the name history barely whispers. This is the cost of procrastination. It doesn't just delay your success, it can erase your legacy. You may think you're just being cautious, that you're just being patient, but every minute you delay is an opportunity someone else is seizing. Success does not reward those who wait, it rewards those who act. You don't lose the game in one moment, you lose it every time. You choose comfort over courage. Every time you tell yourself not yet, every time you believe the lie that later is still guaranteed. So here's the truth. If you don't act now, you may never act at all. Because procrastination is not a one-time mistake. It's a lifestyle, and it's one that will cost you everything you said you wanted without you even realizing you gave it up. You're still waiting, aren't you? Waiting for the right time. Waiting until you feel ready. Waiting for the fear to disappear before you move. But here's the truth. The right time is a myth. It's a trap. It's the excuse that buries more dreams than failure ever could. You say not now. You say soon. But what you don't understand is that success does not wait for readiness. It rewards boldness. It rewards the man who moves while others hesitate. The man who steps into uncertainty with faith while others stand still seeking comfort. You are waiting to feel confident. Confidence comes after action, not before it. You are waiting until you have a perfect plan. Team plans change, life changes, but movement creates opportunity. Sitting still only creates regret. Let me make it plain for you. There is no perfect time. There is only now and what you choose to do with it. Imagine this. A train pulls into the station. It's going exactly where you want to go. Your dream is on board. Your destiny is inside, but you hesitate. You check your bags. You look around for permission. You think maybe another train will come, but it doesn't. That was the only one, and when it pulls away, you're left standing on the platform, not because you didn't have a ticket, but because you didn't have the courage to step on board when it mattered. That's what you're doing right now. You'll think life will give you another chance, another window, another moment when everything will feel right. But life doesn't work like that. Life rewards the man who moves without certainty, who risks embarrassment, judgment, and failure because he knows what's at stake. If he stands still, the man who waits for ideal conditions will wait forever. Understand this. Greatness is not born in clarity. It's born in chaos, in discomfort, in the dark moments. When you move forward, even though everything inside you wants to retreat, that's where strength is forged. That's where the future is claimed. You want guarantees? There are none. You want permission? No one's going to give it to you. You want perfect timing? That was 5 years ago. The man you admire didn't become great because he had more time. He became great because he stopped waiting. So what will it be for you? Will you wait until you're old, tired, and full of regret to realize you had everything you needed to begin except the will? Or will you finally admit what you already know? That the time is now, and it's been now for far too long. Let me ask you a question, my friend. Where did all the time go? But the answer is right in front of you. It went into moments you thought didn't matter, into habits you refused to question, into rituals of waste disguised as routine. You didn't lose a decade all at once. You lost it 5 minutes at a time. You think it's just 5 minutes of scrolling, but 5 minutes multiplied by 1,000 days is your empire lost. You think it's just one conversation about someone else's life, but 10 years of gossip will steal the energy you should have used to build your own. You think it's just thinking it true, but overthinking is not wisdom. It's a form of self-sabotage. You call it planning, but it's fear in disguise and doubt. Doubt is the most seductive time thief of all because it wears the mask of humility while robbing you blind. You doubt your talent, your timing, your calling, so you delay, and while you hesitate, another man with less talent builds what you were born to create. Let's make it plain. Every time you reach for your phone, when you should be reaching for your future, you are choosing distraction over destiny. Every time you refresh a feed, you are starving the fire inside of you. These are not small habits. These are spiritual diseases that silently bleed the hours out of your life. And here's the truth, you don't need more motivation. You need to declare war on the patterns that keep stealing your potential. Stop romanticizing your distractions. Stop defending the things that make you weaker, because what you allow will eventually define you. You want to change your life? Start by confronting your time leaks. Audit your day every hour, every minute. Ask yourself, did this feed me or drain me? Did this build my vision or bury it? Because in the end, your greatness will not be stolen in a moment. It'll be quietly drained by 1,000 unseen habits you chose not to fight. And no one is coming to stop them for you. That responsibility is yours alone. Now that you see where your time is bleeding, there's only one decision left to make. Will you keep leaking your life, or will you rise and reclaim it? Because success doesn't wait for anyone. Success loves speed. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It doesn't care how long you've been preparing. It doesn't pause so you can catch your breath. It moves fast, and if you want it, you better learn to move with it. Act now, move now, build now, or forever wish you had. The urgency mindset is not about rushing blindly. It's about recognizing that hesitation is more dangerous than failure. You can recover from a mistake, but you can't recover time you never used. Most people wait for a sign, a perfect setup, a green light that never comes. But the men who rise, the men who lead, the men who win, they create the moment. They don't wait for it. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man, fresh out of college, no money, no connections, no certainty. But he had one chance, a phone call to a major investor. A connection set up through a friend of a friend. Wasn't planned, he wasn't dressed for it, he didn't have a pitch deck, but the call came right then, and he had 30 seconds to decide, answer it now or reschedule. He picked up nervous, unprepared, but he spoke from the fire in his soul. That one call led to a meeting, that meeting led to a deal, and that deal became the foundation of a $100 million zero-cents company. Now ask yourself, what if he waited until he was ready? What if he said, let me polish my pitch and get back to you tomorrow? That moment would have passed, the investor would have moved on, and the opportunity would have dissolved like every other one. That fear steals from the man who waits too long. That's the urgency mindset. It's the willingness to leap. Not because you're sure you'll land, but because you know standing still is the faster death you see. Opportunity is a moving target. It doesn't stand at your door forever. It drives by, honks once, and if you don't run after it, it's gone. So I'll ask you this, what opportunity is honking at your life right now? And are you going to stand on the porch watching it disappear, or are you going to sprint toward it like your future depends on it, because it does? So now you know you've seen the leaks, you've felt the urgency, but knowledge without action is just another delay. So what do you do now? You redeem your time. You take back what hesitation tried to steal you, rebuild your day brick by brick, choice by choice, minute by minute. Let me show you how. Step 1, wake with intention. Don't let the world pull you into reaction mode. Your day does not belong to your inbox. It does not belong to your notifications. It belongs to your mission. Before the sun rises, before the noise begins, you claim your ground, you command your spirit, you speak your future out loud. I will not waste a day. I will not drift. I will dominate. Step 2, plan like your life depends on it, because it does. Your calendar is not a suggestion, it's a blueprint. Don't let your hours happen by accident. Architect them, own them, guard them. What gets scheduled gets built. What gets ignored gets destroyed. Set your priorities like they are sacred, because they are. If it doesn't move your purpose forward, it doesn't belong in your day. If it feeds comfort and not your future, cut it. Be ruthless with your time. Be protective of your energy, because mediocrity thrives where discipline is weak. Step 3, move before you feel ready. The moment you feel discomfort, that's your cue to act, not to wait, not to research more, not to ask for one more opinion. You move. You move because you're uncomfortable. That feeling is the compass. It points toward growth. And as you move, say it with me. Discipline over delay. Purpose over comfort. Action over anxiety. Faith over fear. Say it again until it drowns out the excuses in your mind. Until it rewires the voice that used to tell you wait. Until it becomes the only rhythm your life dances to. Because listen closely now, your dream is not dead. It's just buried under your wasted hours. And you are the one who holds the shovel. So dig, redeem. Every day, a move like your calling depends on it, because it does. Wake, plan, move, repeat. And when the world asks how you built your empire, you'll answer with one word: discipline. You've been told that time flies, but the truth is, time watches. Time watches every decision you make. It watches every excuse, every delay, every distraction you defend. Time sees the man you could become and the man you continue to be. And time doesn't argue with your choices, it simply keeps moving. Right now, your future self is watching you, and he is not angry. He is not disappointed. He's begging you not to waste another hour. You to do today what he cannot do tomorrow. Because he knows once it's gone, it never comes back. That dream you shelled for next year, He's still waiting for it. That book you never wrote, that business you never launched, that risk you never took. He's living with the weight of what you were too afraid to begin. You think it's just time, but it's your life's equity. You're not just losing minutes, you're losing memories, meaning momentum. You're trading legacy for leisure, calling. Delay a strategy, calling fear a plan. Let me take you back to the story of the man with the seeds. Remember him? He had everything he needed to build a future for his children. The seeds, the land, the promise. But he waited for the right time. And when he finally acted, the soil was dry, the season had passed, the opportunity had withered. Now in the silence of regret, he walks the field where life could have grown, where trees could have stretched skyward, where his children could have found shade and fruit, but now find dust and silence, is what waiting does. It robs not just you, but everyone. You were born to bless everyone, who was supposed to eat from the garden you never planted. But here's what you must understand. The clock hasn't struck midnight yet. The soil of your life is still wet with possibility. The seeds are still in your... So plant them now, not tomorrow. See now, time is still watching and your future self is still hoping that this is the moment you stop waiting and start becoming. You've heard the excuses. You've seen the cost. You've stood in front of your future face to face, and now the choice is yours. The minutes ahead of you are untouched, unwritten, but what you do next will write the opening line of the rest of your life. And so I leave you with this truth. The same truth that has changed men, moved mountains, built empires. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Not what the mind fears, not what the mind delays, what it conceives with vision and believes with absolute faith. But belief alone is not enough. Faith without action is fantasy. So I ask you now, will you bury your time in distraction, or will you build an empire minute by minute with urgency, discipline, and fire? You don't need more time. You need to become more dangerous with the time you already have. Comment below, I choose to act, not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Be now, subscribe, because the next version of you is waiting, not in the future, but in the decisions you make today. This is the moment. Let the old you die, and let the man you were born to be finally rise. Thank you for watching this video to this point. Kindly share to your friends. See you on the next video. Stay blessed and stay focused.